What happens when the man who signs the paychecks gets treated like he's invisible? Russell Wade leaned back in the driver's seat of his beige rental sedan, staring through the windshield at store number 5 of the 10 boutique wellness centers he'd quietly acquired 6 years ago. The chain had expanded quickly, the profits were stable, and on paper everything looked good. But lately, complaints had started to trickle in, not about pricing or the services themselves, but about the people. Cold staff, sluggish wait times, passive indifference. One customer said they waited almost an hour only to be told they'd missed their window. Another complained about being talked to like they were bothering someone. Russell didn't trust vague reports or polished updates from district managers. He believed in first-hand observation. So he shaved his beard, dyed his hair a dull gray, added thick glasses to the disguise, and changed his NAMI lease temporarily. The corporate office had never circulated his face. He'd made sure of that. No photos on the website, no framed portraits in the lobbies. Just a man behind the curtain. He walked through the automatic doors dressed in khakis, a washed-out polo, and a scuffed duffel bag slung over his shoulder. No one looked up. The waiting area was silent except for the ambient hum of lo-fi music trickling from ceiling speakers. A few guests sat quietly, fixated on their phones. Behind the counter, a young woman with long lashes was scrolling on hers. Her name tag read Lindsay. Russell stepped to the desk, cleared his throat, and said politely, "Hi. I booked a consultation for 10 o'clock. She didn't look up. "Name?" "Ron," he said. "Ron Jennings." She clicked a few keys while chewing gum. "Have a seat. Someone will get you." He nodded and sat near the window. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. Then 40. Lindsay didn't call anyone. She didn't say a word. Occasionally, she giggled at something on her screen. A man sitting nearby leaned over and whispered, "I've been here since 9:40. Think she forgot we exist." Russell stood and approached the desk again. "Excuse me, just checking on the schedule." Without even glancing up, Lindsay said, "Sir, I already told you. Someone will get you." He waited. By 12:15, Russell had been sitting there for over 2 hours. 2 clients had given up and walked out. No one was called. No staff appeared. Lindsay continued scrolling, unfazed. He finally stood, his hands trembling not from anger, but from disbelief. He could leave and have a discussion with the district manager. Or he could do what he always did best, dig deeper. The next morning, he returned under a new identity. This time as Fred Warner, with buzzed hair, a fake tattoo sleeve, and an application in hand for the trainee front desk position. The store manager was desperate for help. With short staffing and no new applicants in weeks, she barely glanced at him before muttering, "You start now." Russell saw the full picture quickly. Lindsay wasn't just lazy. She was completely unsupervised. She arrived late, took long breaks, flirted with delivery drivers, and ignored guests. When he asked where the appointment logs were kept, she waved him off. "Nobody tracks that. Don't worry about it." The store manager, Dana, was hardly ever present. She remained cloistered in her back office with the door shut, barking out occasional orders and vanishing again. She seemed unaware or uninterested in what actually happened at the front. But not everyone was neglectful. There was another employee, Maya, quiet, mid-30s, sharp, and always on her feet. She wasn't even full-time. A floater, filling in where needed across multiple branches. "You're new?" she asked as she rolled out a cart of clean linens. "Yeah, Fred. Just started." "Well, good luck. This place is something else." Russell watched her quietly manage the chaos Lindsay left behind. When customers were upset, she calmed them. When Lindsay disappeared for 30-minute coffee runs, Maya covered the desk without complaint. She kept things functional without ever asking for credit. Later that day, as Russell sat in the break room eating lunch, he overheard Lindsay on the phone. "Some old dude had a meltdown yesterday. Waited forever and flipped out. Like chill. It's not a hospital. That old dude had been him." He clenched his jaw. This wasn't just mismanagement. It was blatant disrespect not only for the clients, but for anyone who genuinely cared, like Maya. He made a decision. The following day, he'd end the charade. At 8:05 the next morning, Russell stepped through the staff entrance, a minute past the posted start time. The front lobby was still dim. Lindsay's iced coffee sat sweating beside a pile of unopened mail. She was nowhere in sight. Maya had already started, pulling a towel cart down the hall. "You're early," she said with a nod, not breaking stride. "Trying to make a good impression." Russell sat behind the desk, unsure if he was even permitted to log into the system. The terminal was password protected. The phone buzzed once, then fell silent. At 8:22, Lindsay sauntered in, sunglasses on, phone to her ear. "I told her if he's still mad about yesterday. That's not my problem," she said, brushing past him and tossing her tote onto the desk. She opened Instagram. Moments later, a woman in her 60s arrived, walking with a limp and holding a printed appointment confirmation. "I'm here to see Dr. Kapoor at 8:30, she said. Lindsay didn't look up. "He's not here yet. Take a seat." "I left work early for this," the woman said gently. "Okay," Lindsay muttered. Russell stood. "I can check the schedule for you if you'd like." "Still learning, but I'll try." Lindsay scoffed. "It's at 8:30. That means it's at 8:30. At 8:45, Dr. Kapoor walked into the lobby. "Did Ms. Alden arrive?" "She's been here 15 minutes, Russell replied. Kapoor looked at Lindsay. "Why didn't you notify me? You weren't here. I've been in the back since 8:10. "Not my fault you didn't say hi," she replied with a shrug. Kapoor sighed and called Ms. Alden back. After they disappeared down the hallway, Russell turned to Lindsay. "Do you always wait for providers to find their clients?" She gave him a sideways look. "They know their schedule. I'm not a babysitter." Later that morning, Dana finally emerged. Black sweater, tablet in hand, eyes never leaving the screen. "Fred, you're on towels." Maya, front desk. "Wait, why?" Lindsay complained. Dana ignored her. Maya didn't protest. "I'll take it," she said. Rather not argue. She logged into the system with practiced ease, greeting each client, answering questions, printing receipts. Her tone never wavered. At noon, Dana called a meeting in the break room. "Corporate's breathing down my neck," she began. "We're behind on upsells, reviews, and retention. I need you to push harder." Maya raised a hand. "Some clients are frustrated with wait times. One more person at the front could help." "We don't have the budget," Dana snapped. "Do more with less." Kelsey was scrolling under the table. Dana didn't notice. "Also," Dana added, "some of you are overcleaning. Don't waste product on spotless counters." Maya's gaze lowered. After the meeting, Russell approached Dana. "Should I be shadowing someone?" "You'll figure out," she muttered, eyes on her tablet. By mid-afternoon, a customer came in fuming about being double-billed. Lindsay deflected. Maya resolved it with grace. Lindsay rolled her eyes. "Some people just want drama." "That wasn't necessary," Russell said quietly. "You don't even work here full-time," she snapped. "Mind your business." Russell walked to the break room and called corporate HR. "She needs to be removed today." By 4:30, a regional HR rep arrived. Lindsay was called into the back under the guise of a routine review. 15 minutes later, she left without a word. As she walked out the front door for the last time, Maya turned to Russell. "What happened?" He didn't answer. He grabbed a broom and started sweeping. The next day, Dana called a staff huddle. "Lindsay's gone permanently," she said. "We're short-staffed." Maya back to floater. Russell said nothing. A young man arrived, mid-morning hoodie, folder in hand. "I'm Jamal. Here for intake." Maya smiled. "Let's get you checked in." Dana appeared. "Was this scheduled?" "Yes," Maya replied. Dana turned to Jamal, interrogating his referral source. Her tone was dismissive, almost accusatory. Maya cut in, handing over the paperwork. "Everything's confirmed." Later, Russell asked Maya, "Does she always talk like that?" "Only to certain clients." He knew what that meant. "Why hasn't anyone reported it?" "They have. It goes nowhere." The next day, Russell flagged Dr. Kapoor in the parking lot. "Do you notice how Dana talks to some people? People who don't belong in this zip code?" "Yes. I mentioned it once. Got told to stay in my lane." "Be in the break room around noon," Russell said. When the staff gathered, Dana launched into another speech. "We're restructuring coverage. Maya's back on floater starting tomorrow." Russell stepped forward. "I'd like to speak. This isn't a Q&A. It's not a question." He handed her an envelope. She opened it, paused, read a few lines, then froze. He removed his glasses. "My name is Russell Wade. I own this company." Silence. "You've been warned before about your tone, about dismissing staff and clients. I've watched you keep good people out while building a fortress around your ego." He turned to Maya. "You're not going back to Floater. You're the new assistant manager. Effective immediately." He looked around. "If you've been overlooked, I want your name. If you've carried this place, I want to know. And if anyone else's behavior has been normalized, that stops today." Dana stepped back. "I've given years. And in those years, you've lost the trust of this team." The HR rep appeared. "Please collect your things," she said. Dana left without a word. "This isn't punishment," Russell said. "It's course correction." The following week, things changed. Maya wrote a new schedule, balanced, humane, effective. Russell returned, this time as himself. He didn't hide. He didn't distance himself. He worked among them. He watched Maya lead with quiet strength. Dr. Kapoor offered praise. Clients noticed the difference. One, a mechanic named Mr. Alvarez, told Maya, "This place used to feel cold. Now it doesn't." Russell pulled Maya aside. "You ever think about running your own center? That's a big leap. You're already doing the job." He announced quarterly staff bonuses, peer review for leadership, a client advisory council. Maya began training for regional leadership. And on a cool evening, after locking up together, she turned to him. "You don't have to do that anymore," she said. "I do," he replied, "because I forgot how much the small things mattered." They walked to their cars not as owner and employee, but as equals, two people who had rebuilt a broken system from the inside out.